I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Back to another video, and this is another paid request, this time from Guillermo. Thank you so much for that, really appreciate it. And this time I'm talking about Primal Rage. Now Primal Rage has good elements in it, but that kind of makes it even more infuriating because it had the right elements to really make it work, but some really crucial mistakes were made. And it just falls apart because of that. The setup I don't mind. The setup of you have a guy he gets out of prison after being in there for a year. His wife picks him up. They're starting to get to know each other again. They have a son at home. While they're on the way, they almost hit someone in the middle of the road. And this person is just completely fucked up. Half his face is missing. Really excellent gore makeup effects in this, and I believe the director worked in effects, so that makes sense to me. And there's some really good kills in this, and the Bigfoot creature itself, very well done. One of the better looking Bigfoot creatures I've seen in a movie. And believe me, I've seen a lot of Bigfoot movies. My favorites are Abominable, Exists, and Harry and the Hendersons. And if certain elements were improved, this could have been one of those pretty damn good. But listen, I like the setup. One at least another. The guy gets hit in the head. He falls down in this river. The wife goes after him. They're both lost in the woods. They come across these hunters. The hunters are going to help them get to safety. But then the predator, the predator shows up. That's weird. Wow. That'd be weird. Wow, the predator showed out of nowhere. Where the fuck did this come from? The reason that popped in my head, it becomes almost like Predator, where Bigfoot uses tools, including a bow and arrow, puts stuff on him to blend into the woods as if he's fucking John Rambo. He has a mask on. He has stuff on his hands to pretend to be part of the tree, the woodwork, the wood area. So this is a creature that's smart, that uses tools, and hunts the hunters like the predator would hunt its prey. I mean, hunting them one by one, and he gets some pretty gory kills. A lot of bow and arrow into the mouth or into the throat. Gouges one guy's eyes out and crushes his head to a pulp. Slices a guy's neck. Rips a guy's jaw and mouth open. Remember King Kong, what he did to the T-Rex? Imagine someone doing that to a person. Really nasty, practical, real gore. I mean, the Bigfoot looks pretty damn solid. Where does this go wrong? The cast, the story. This is a director that knows about effects, but he doesn't know about narrative and characters. And he did not cast well either. The lead guy, the way this actor plays him, is very bland and just not good. His delivery is not natural. He's a very weak lead because of that. The acting is very weak from the lead guy. The hunters, they're joking all the time and they come off as redneck, dumb, yokel assholes. And maybe they could have done something where the lead hunter, maybe he's a decent guy because he gives the girl his coat. But they're just joking all the time to the point of redundancy almost. Earlier when the couple first sees them, hey, that's a pretty thing you got there, guy. That's a pretty lady you got there. And then when you find them in the woods, just more joking numbnuts. Yeah. Maybe my wife... what the fuck was the line he said? No, I don't got a cell phone. You got a cell phone? No, I don't got a cell phone. Me and my wife shopping with mooses for a cell phone. Oh, I'm a yokel. I got yeah. Well, actually, no. One of the couple says, I got sand in my crotch. It's chafing my nuts. Actually, the lead guy says that. So yeah, the dialogue and the characters and the cast, and it just weak as fuck. The lead guy, I'll just say he sucks. He fucking sucked. Even some of the extras, like there's a sheriff, and one of the first, not the first scene, but one of the early scenes, it's a woman coming up going, where's my husband? This is an extra, and she's fucking bad. Just her line is like, well, where's my husband? Did you find this from your local pub, like, local wherever? Local Walmart? I don't know where the fuck. Most of this cast, did you just find local? Like, if you had a good cast, yeah, the characteristics are very middling or derivative. You have the guy out of the jail after a year, the wife who is, hey, you know, why did you go to jail in the first place? You know, the yokel rednecks, you know, they're giving the outsiders a little bit of shit. Maybe with a good cast, you could overcome the weak dialogue and the middling characterizations. That happens a lot. There's a lot of movies I love where if you look at the characterizations, they're very basic. But they work because the actor either has presence, or has a star factor, star power, it factor, or persona of charisma, or just a cool factor. I love Chaz Boudreaux. Is there a three-dimensional character to him? I mean, there's a little bit you know backstory. His name's Chance, his mama took one. You get to know his Uncle Duvet. There's a little bit, but it's not compared to Michael Mann's Heat or Shawshank Redemption type stuff. But there's enough there, and there's a cool factor to Van Damme, and he was the it factor. There's a reason he became a star. His look, his persona, and the cool factor. You did none of that here, and then the actors aren't really that talented. If you had, and I didn't even like this film, there was a film called Into the Grizzly Maze. It had James Marsden, Thomas Jane, and Billy Bob Thornton, and it was a killer grizzly movie, only they made it kind of boring, and then a lot of the times the grizzly was shitty CGI, which was and it's one of the director of, like, what, Saw 5 or something? And it wasn't that gore. It wasn't as gory as I thought from the director of Saw 5. It is a really disappointing film. If you had that cast mixed in with this good effects, decent location, the way the woods look, even the cinematography's not too bad. Good looking creature, good looking death scenes. Like if you had a group of people and it ended with James Marsden, Bill Bob Thornton as the last of the hunters, and Thomas Jane, that'd be pretty cool. And then you have this Bigfoot that uses a hatchet, even cuts a guy's head off with a hatchet. Solid gore, but okay. Other than the cast, other than the acting, not much to the characters. I said the narrative. What do I mean by the narrative? They will build up stuff. It really doesn't lead to nowhere. Or there's really not much, a whole lot of explanation. The sheriff. They spend so much time with the sheriff. Where he's not believing it. But his deputy's like, hey, you know what? You need to believe in this stuff. And then him being led into finding more about what's going on, little clues here and there, then led to taking this stuff and having a vision, and then also finding our lead character, and our lead character, he gets knocked out. He's carried by an old woman of the woods who looks like a goblin. She literally looks like a goblin from like Legend or something. Pointed nose. She looks like a witch. A goblin. There's really not much explanation. The deputy, I think, in the beginning says, oh yeah, she's not human. But, like, this is a monster as well. It's a fucking monster. With the way she looks and the point... She's a fucking monster. No one really bats an eye. Including our lead. What the fuck is this? And there's not much of an explanation as to who she is and what's that all about. Maybe a flimsy one, but not enough to like. It's a good looking makeup. Like, who the fuck are you? Are you the Bigfoot son? Anyway. But yeah, with the sheriff all this time, and then like, we got these weapons, and we're going to use these weapons against it. When they get out there, immediately, they split up. The sheriff doesn't use those weapons. He pulls out a gun. Bigfoot tackles him, rips his throat out. So much for the sheriff. Wow, I'm glad all that build up and him having a vision, all talking with his deputy about Bigfoot, believing in Bigfoot. What was the point of all that? In 10 seconds, boom, killed, throat ripped out. What was the point of that? Completely wasted. I didn't mention when Bigfoot killed all the hunters, it dragged the wife away, and then the husband was knocked out, brought back by the goblin lady. Things go in. Doesn't really do a whole lot. She pretty much, almost when she escapes on her own, and then he pretty much tells her, go to the road. He gets in a fight with Bigfoot, and he does a couple stuff, but he doesn't really use a lot of the shit he fucking brought. He threw a hatchet, he fucking missed. He's able to stab Bigfoot in the arm. He runs, he trapped in the, like a, oh, what do you call it? I know the name of it, oh my, how do I know the name of it, man. Bear trap, like a bear trap. And all in the mud. Maybe think of more predator. Bigfoot grabs him. He just like a shiv and shivs the fucking Bigfoot to death. Because at the beginning of the film, he joked about how he made a shiv in prison. And so I guess that had to... Wow. that's the thing you carry around the world, director, writer. And then, like, pounds the head of the dead Bigfoot with a rock. He's laying there. And spoilers. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. Then he gets 2 arrows in the chest. His wife's made it to the road, but he gets 2 arrows in the chest because there's more than one Bigfoot. There's like 3 of them with bow and arrows and masks on. And I'm sitting there going... So this whole thing with the goblin lady grabbing this guy, bringing him back, healing him, making him fine and dandy, to go out there and fight Bigfoot man to man, mano a mano, was all fucking pointless because there's 3 or 4 or 7 or 11 of these fucking things out there. Which apparently, this whole time, I guess one Bigfoot just, you guys sit back, I'll do it myself. We only saw one Bigfoot throughout the whole fucking thing, but now there's like 4, 5, 7, 11. And that's not even the first time I saw that. I saw that at the end of Abominable. But even then, it didn't kill the lead guy. At least the lead guy and them got away. Like, oh, what's his name? Oh, God. McCoy. Matt McCoy? At least he got away. Him and the girl he saved. At least they got away. So at least there's some kind of a sense of accomplishment. I just hear the girl got to the road, so that was the accomplishment. But it's like, really? This guy fought Bigfoot one-on-one. Seemed like the whole point of why the witch or whatever the fuck brought him there. And there's even a point where Bigfoot's going to slice his throat. And then he looks at the girl, and then he does it. But then it looks like he's going to kill him a different way. But then he stopped and forgets about him. I didn't understand that either. I was like, okay, is he not going to kill the guy? Because the girl's like, no. But then like, he's going to kill him again. I don't know what the fuck that whole deal was, that scene. What was that about? What was the point of that? And then, like, the entire sheriff thing was wasted. The hunters, you would think maybe one of the hunters could make it and try to help the guy at the end. No, all of them get killed around the same fucking time. And, like, you know, even the goblin lady, the sheriff seeing a vision, all this pointless shit. And yeah, we need a shock ending. Even though technically this is our logical conclusion to the story, we need some kind of shock ending. Come on, we need that. No, you fucking don't. That is a mistake so many fucking people have when they make these fucking movies, is that there may be some kind of logical conclusion, but we need some kind of shock ending or some kind of gotcha ending which negates shit that was already done or said or thought of before. It's like that. How many times has that been done, has been successful, where a person goes, yeah! Lame, shitty ending, bad acting, lame characters, storylines that go nowhere, like the goblin lady's barely touched on. Like, why is she's a goblin? Like, you think there'd be more to that. The sheriff, that goes nowhere. Or it's a build up and it goes nowhere. But, you have good gore. You have good looking Bigfoot. You have the direction, as in the camera work, the way the force is lit and worked into it. Not bad. The way there's certain nice camera movements, not bad. Like it's behind the car, going down the road, and you know, wherever they shot it, the location they shot it, nicely picked out. But effects and gore, this is a primary example when someone goes, you only want effects and gore. No, this has good gore and good effect on the Bigfoot. that doesn't make it, in my opinion, a good movie. For the reasons I said. In my opinion. So it's more frustrating because I think it had the elements to be great, and it falls short. That's fucking infuriating. So. But hey, if you don't care about that and you want to see a gory Bigfoot movie that's fairly well shot, I have no problem with the way it was shot. That's it. Even after I say you want a Bigfoot movie that has a decent body count and some good kills and good gore, makeup, and that's what you want, and it's, I don't know, on Amazon or Netflix or Tubi, whatever you have, you can give it a watch, sure. But it wasn't. I have so many other films I could watch. I'd just rather watch those. I'd rather go watch Abominable again, which that has some good gore too, but to me a more satisfying story, and better actors. Matt McCoy did a better job as the lead than this guy. And a more interesting story where it's the rear window aspect of it. Exists. That... Yeah, I would even say that had better acting compared to this, at least. And definitely more satisfying story and ending. Which, interesting. Definitely a more interesting ending. Like, this is how you do that. But what do I know? See you guys later. Bye-bye.